Hey guys, I am making this video because this needs to be talked about, and you know, it needs to be talked about because this is going to start happening when we start getting towards the truth of where the Israelites are, what tribes they are, because you're gonna have a lot of people come into videos and other people's videos taking words out of context, and then they're going to be saying everybody is that. So we need to make this video because everybody is not an Israelite. Everybody is not an Israelite. And I'm going to show you what they look like. Okay? I need to use eSword, but I'm not on my other laptop right now, and something's going on with the connection of it. So we're gonna try to just type the scriptures. And I didn't really have this video prepared because I already know what I'm gonna do. But let's go. So God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the earth of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." All right. So when the Ishi Eloah said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness," that means he created man in the way he wanted to be, which would be perfect. Okay? Perfect. This is an image. And an image ain't, how Christians be saying, we're all in the image. They're talking about like the people who believe in Jesus, right? That's not what that's talking about. It's talking about a DNA. So if you go look up the word image, right? A representation of the external form of a person or thing in art. Likeness. Resemblance. An image. A picture, literally. A picture. Alright? So. And then. Man. Now, I'm just going to go on my phone to get done eSword. So, if you have eSword, you can pull yours out. But I can't get on my other computer, and Google doesn't allow it on theirs somehow. I think I might be wrong, but it doesn't work on this laptop. But if you go to Genesis 1:26 on eSword, give y'all a second. It says, "And God said, let us make man in our image." Right. So when you go to man, H120, it translates to Adam from H199. All right. Came from that. Then Ruddy, that is a human being. All right, Ruddy. Okay, so we're gonna try to type that in H120 Adam. Yeah, Adam. Yeah, man, Adam. And then that comes from H119. If you didn't know, H stands for Hebrew. So, okay, red, Ruddy. So when it's talking about Adam or verse man, they're talking about a species. Okay, species. I learned this from Lex Will. A species. So we type human, right? Human definition. All right. Related to characteristics of people or human beings. And then when we go to man etymology. Man, I can't find. Okay, we're just gonna type this. A featherless plantigrade biped mammal of the genus Homo. Old English man, human being, person, male or female. The reason it wouldn't be human being is because when you type in human, uh, of or belonging to man, of man, human. So this is a subspecies of man, belonging to man, because man is the ancestor of the human. But humans also have another ancestor. Let's look it up. Homo sapiens. Remember, we're not. Well, they're saying this incorrectly, but we're not really Homo sapiens. We're so-called sub-Saharan Africans, but we're not sub-Saharan Africans. We're Afro-Asians. If you know what I'm trying to say, they're mixing up language so it can put everybody in the same category. So Homo sapien have what part? Yes, Homo sapiens have part Neanderthal DNA to interbreeding after Homo sapiens migrate out of Africa. So they're saying that they're saying that the people who are of sub-Saharan African descent or Afro-Asians have a percentage of zero, basically close to zero or zero. So when they're saying sub-Saharan African, they're saying people of man or the Afro-Asian. And people who are not Afro, they have 1-2% of Neanderthal DNA. So everybody ain't this. Man. It's only Negroes. And you might think, well, where's the scripture where it says that the first man had Afro? Or they're black, right? Or not black, but Negro. So we're gonna go to skin color. We already proved that. Let me see. I'm gonna type in red clay. See this. I'll make a separate video about remembering Bible verses. I'll make this comment quick. So if you're a Negro, right? Really everybody on the planet. The elite's goal was to keep us away from simply the Old Testament. And boss, they wanted us to grow up knowing basketball, football, entertainment, rapping. They want us to remember every single rap lyric, every single rap song from each rapper, every single basketball player from top 50. They want us to remember all that, but they don't want us to remember, the beginning of Genesis to the end of, what's the last book of the Old Testament, man? See, that's the I don't remember the last book of the Old Testament. I should know that. We should be knowing from Genesis to the last book that was ever posted for the Old Testament, and of course the New, so we can prove history and prove that the New Testament is not right. But we all don't even know the beginning of Genesis, but we know all the rap songs, basketball players. So that's kind of a consequence, but we got to get through it. But let's get back to the point. Form. All right. Sorry, I'm not really prepared for this because this is actually a hard topic. So, for me it is. For others that know about this, they can make this, but ain't nobody making videos, so I'm gonna make it. But here it is. This might be it. All right. Remember, you want to go to the KJV. We're just proving right now that Negroes are the race of man. Okay. Genesis 2:7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. All right. So, yeah. The Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into a living soul. All right. Now we're gonna go to eSword on my phone. Cause the eSword, that's the best way to prove this stuff. But so when you go, okay, if you guys there now, right? Go to Genesis 2:7, and the Lord God's or the Lord Ishi Eloah formed man of the dust. So remember, if you go to man H120 translation, it means ruddy. And then you go to H119, red, ruddy. And then when you go to of the dust, you go to dust H6083 translation. It's saying afar, dust, powder or gray. Hence clay, right? Clay, earth, mud, different shades, right? So that's all the shades of the earth. And then ground, soil. All right. Ground goes to Adamah, soil, from its general redness. They're talking about the red clay. All right. So man goes back to ruddy, which is red. Dust goes back to different shades of brown, which includes mostly red. And the ground, which you're talking about where you form, red. Now, if you're not on eSword, because I ain't gonna Google this because that's too many, but it's talking about red clay. All right. Breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. All right. So let's go ahead and type red clay, and I already made a YouTube shorts on this. All right. You see this red clay? Look at that. That's what it's talking about. You might think, well, Negroes in South Sudanese, they're very dark skinned. How could, Negroes be, very, how could they be the color of red clay if Africans are dark? Well, that's the thing. They've lied to us. All Africans are not super dark. And plus, the Africans that are dark, some of them look red and light. Right? So let's go look up some red people right quick. So we're going to do Michael Jackson first. See how red his skin is? Red. Red. Here, even his brother. Look how red his skin is. See how red it is? This literally matches red clay. Hold up, let me find it. Matches the color. Literally matches. This is what that's red right here. All right, so that's red. I think this is the best representation of what red looked like. But now we'll keep it there. Now we're gonna give some more examples. I would say Julius Erving. Julius Erving, he's pretty red. You see how red it is? Look how red his skin is, man. It matches this one right here. Then we're gonna do Jamie Foxx. I'm gonna try to get some women in here too. Look at that. They're saying black or see, look, y'all. When I say black, I'm saying that because, like, on the street, right? I can't just call someone an Afro Asian because they're not gonna know what I'm talking about, right? But I can, I have to say black because we're illiterate, so not everybody, but we all don't know how to code switch and translate because we're all illiterate, including myself. Not when I meant, okay, let's get back to the point. See how red his skin is, right? It's not, all Negroes are not black skinned. matches that. He literally matches that. All right. And remember, I'm showing people that could be Jacob, Esau, or Moab, right? You know, it could be Jacob, Esau, or Moab. So, but we haven't got to that point in the video yet, but we can show some other people. We'll show some Africans. Dang, who was African? I know there's some Africans that I just can't get it top of my head, bro. Just type Nigerian, man. I told you we're gonna show everybody. We ain't gonna stop at nobody. You see how red his skin? You see it? Hope I don't like going on Twitter. No. Cause I don't know. I'm hoping they get to the video. Cause they don't. Okay, yeah. Cause man, you see how red her skin is, bro? Her skin red too. All right. See how red his skin is? They always, say the black people are only South. See, look, they think so. And we're gonna get to this part too. Sorry if I'm talking in circles. I get excited and when I know when I'm saying something, but right. They think we all evolved from black like this. They think we all evolved from this. And there's nothing wrong with the color. It's beautiful. Smooth, like, bro. If I could, well, I can't say that, but if I could, I wouldn't mind, going through that color. I wouldn't mind trying to look like that, for a day. You know what I mean? Just see how it feel. But that color I meant. But this is not the only skin color Negroes come in. And we're gonna get to the out of Africa theory because that's ruined people's mind too. But cause this video is mainly to show you what Israelites look like. But we're making this stuff quick. So, but red clay. All right. Let's see if we can show some women. I guess who's red? I guess Angela Bassett, right? Angela Bassett. I can't even type the freaking. See how red her skin is? What's her name? Gabrielle Union. See how red her skin is? Right? Who else? I'm trying to name some. There's some other women, I just can't remember. Plus, very darker skinned women are promoted more, so it's really hard to. I guess Sky Jackson, yeah. I do her. See how red her skin is? I'm gonna do one more. I don't want to do this other person because I don't know what photos they gonna have, but Masara Meyer, do her. See how red her skin is? It matches the clay. This one right here. So I'm saying that's what that's what this verse is talking about. All right. So now we're gonna prove, we're gonna prove that that the man has afro. This is pretty simple. You just go to Songs of Solomon, right, and then just gonna talk about what Solomon had. Then you're gonna pull up a bush. Then you're gonna pull up. I don't know. I don't want to do it, but I ain't gonna do it. But we'll do. I don't care. Oh, okay. Whatever. Who cares? All right. So, Songs of Solomon. His head is as the most fine gold. His locks are bushy and black as a raven. Now, I'm not sure what it means by locks. I think it means curls. So we go to the east sword. Hold a second, guys. So a lot of people think locks is talking about like dreadlocks, but I don't think it's talking about. I mean, like dreadlocks. I think it's talking about like how the hair it tight is tight. So like because locks can be bushy, but that's not that's not what it's really trying to say. So by the duplication from 8524 through the idea of vibration. All right, a trailing bow. So it's really talking about hair that goes up like a bush. See? You see Michael Jackson. I'm gonna go back to Michael Jackson now. See his hair? Looks like a bush. Doesn't look like that. Okay. It looks like this. Alright. Now, it ain't just Michael Jackson. Let's type in Jermaine Jackson. Same thing. These are real. Alright. Looks like a bush. Solomon had a bushy hair. Now, Solomon was Negro and half Hittite. So we're gonna have to show a mixed person, like that's I think mixed Hindu. I think Hindu, right? He's Hindu, right? So what type? Hindu, black, Afro. Look, still has bushy hair. Still bushy. Right? And then when you go to the new international the new King James version, it says his hair has waves. Right? His hair has waves. But that's not the version we looking for. It's New International. No, it's this one. No, it's this one. His hair is curly. Even the ink is saying curly. Like, where is it? New King James version. There we go. His head is like the finest gold, and his locks are wavy. Why is it that the New King James version call it wavy? Because I'm gonna show you what wavy hair looks like. Wavy hair. This is wavy hair. The old translation said bushy. Now the new King James modern says wavy. This is the bushy, and that's the wavy. So you see what they did. Alright. And just to prove, to make sure what I'm talking about, like, what type of Genesis 1, 2, 6. I just want to see what they say for this one. Okay, I thought they would change this to human so I could prove a point, but let me see if there's there it is. Look, you see how the New International Reader version, they say, let us make human beings. We're not humans. We're not all humans. A lot of us are Negroes. Man, the human being is the non-Negro, and the man is the Negro. All right. That's what the King James version said. All right. So now we're gonna get to the other part. So if you didn't know, after this, Adam and Eve were created like that, and then also, you know, they were, they were in a warm climate, right? So when you're in a warm climate, and I didn't say hot, I didn't say cold, I said warm climate. You're not gonna need clothes. This is why we can go to a lot of tribes, not just Africa, right? You go to Africa tribes, indigenous. They're always somewhat naked. We'll go to South America tribes. And I'm not talking about race, which is, yeah, like, they're always naked. Okay? Papua tribes. So you go, I'm typing everywhere. European indigenous, I'm gonna have to say Western, because Western indigenous European, let me see. Except for Europe for some reason, but everywhere in the world you go, they're always naked outside, and they always have somewhat smooth skin. All right, because we were put in a warm climate. So when you're in a warm climate, why would the Most High, make you have fur? If you're in the warm climate and you have melanin, right? And I gotta make a video about that. Why is it that the fallen seed is it's darker? But we'll get back to the point. We're not supposed to wear clothes. We're not hairy. Because all the tribes are smooth everywhere. Most of them, I would say. Not all, but most of them. So we're meant to be naked with no body hair in a warm climate. So, remember, Adam and Eve were created, smooth skin, red skin, and big afro hair. And if you want a representation of that, we'll use the Jacksons, right? You see how he's big afro, no body hair on even his arm, smooth. This is a great representation of what Adam looks like. You see? Smooth skin, red afro Negroes. Now, we also have to bring the fact that we have different genders, because one is male and female. So we're going to type male and female, KJV. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created him. Male and female created them. So we have male and female. So remember, male is XY chromosome. Female is XX chromosome. Difference between female and male. Alright? But I don't really need to read this because we already know the difference. But males have beard. Males grow beards. Males are bigger, taller, stronger, more muscular body, have less estrogen. Females produce more estrogen, have ovaries. They grow breasts. Have vagina, right? Don't grow facial hair. All right. So Adam's gonna have a beard too. So let's get to the so this one's gonna be hard because I can't really find an original Adam beard, but we'll just use some examples. So, because I'm saying most so-called Israelites today are not gonna be able to grow full beards. A lot of Edomites can, but a lot of Israelites cannot grow full beards today. So let's type in some people who could grow through a beard. We'll type Slim Thug, Sada Baby, who else? What's his name? I forgot his name. We'll just type longest beards. Beard in Africa, right? So so during that time, you know, African or black men used to grow big beards. Now we don't really do so now. But the beard is supposed to, grow, to represent your heritage, which is, being an Afro man, right? Male. So you see how his beard, it grows out and down. Now this part I have to bring up Lex Will because I don't know how. I think this part deals with some type of Y chromosome characteristic, but he was saying that Esau beard grows out and Jacob's grows down. And I'm not saying these people are Israelites, but I'm saying their beard grows down, not out. So like LeBron James, right? His beard grows out. And I'm not saying he's not an Israelite. I'm just saying his beard usually grows out. It doesn't grow down. It grows out. But like Slim Thug, his beard grows down. Sada Baby, he does his beard kind of does both. It grows out and down. And then you can use the longest beard in Africa. This dude beard, it grows down. Right? See how his beard is growing down? So it's hard to find of like what the full beard would look like. But I would say the closest representation would be how Sada Baby's beard grow. He shapes it up. But you see what I'm saying? Adam grows a full beard that goes down like that. It grows down and it's bushy though, or Afro beard. So Adam had a beard. There are some other people. Let me see if I can find. I'm gonna type this in right quick. Ephesian man Afro. Oh, here it is. So you see how like the afro out and the beard go down, but it's supposed to be more fuller. I'm trying to find that picture. Here it is. Boom. So we're supposed to look like this. Negroes are supposed to look like the picture on the left, right here. Full beard and afro. Okay? So that's how this is how my hair grows. It grows just like that. I can't grow a beard but like that, That's funny. My hair grows just like that. But yeah, like, Adam had a beard. And then if you want to know what Eve looked like, just type in big afro, women. but it's gonna show a bunch of women with makeup. But you know. So now, oh yeah, also, we're also gonna be taller, because during the time of that period, it was more ox skin in the world. We're gonna make a video about that too. So like bugs, animals, and stuff were taller. So Noah height. We're just gonna type in Noah height Bible. I'm not really gonna go deep into this, but they're just saying that Noah was, I don't even know if this is true, but 12 feet, Adam 15 feet. So we were taller back in time. So that's why like NBA players are worshipped, not necessarily worshipped, they're seen as gods because they're tall. Like even WNBA players like Julius Erving, he would be a good example of what Adam could look like. 6'8", right? 6'7", whatever, 6'8", 6'11", 6. I'm saying we were taller during that time. Women too. So we already got past that. So remember, key points. Adam and Eve, they were smooth skin, which means they had no hair on their body. No hair. And I'm going to give you more proof that humans were smooth. So let's just type in hot tribe. I don't even know if they, but they have no skin on their body. I mean, not skin, hair. No hair on their body. Barely. We'll do the Khoisan. Pretty much smooth. Smooth. The Maasai. Because a lot of people saying, we can have hair. No, there's people that can't grow body hair. Maasai people. Smooth. Let me type the air up there. The air up there. Dude has no hair on his body. No hair. Alright? So let's get a recap. Humans are smooth skin, have big afros, red skin, right? We're big, we're tall. And also we are made perfect. Humans are made perfect, which means you're going to come out looking amazing if you're Adam and Eve. It means the hairline gonna be good, the eyes gonna be good, the skin's gonna be good. The shit. It's gonna be a perfect man and perfect woman. But which we're gonna talk about later. So certain things can mess that up, that image up. That's why there was different sons and stuff like that. But we're gonna get through it now. So we're gonna type Adam lineage. Adam to Cain, Abel, Seth. Remember, Cain killed Abel, then they had Seth, and then we learned from Lex Will the Cain children of Cain did survive the flood, but Seth, Enosh, Canaan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah. Now, in the book of Enoch, you can go read about it, right? And if you don't want to read the book of Enoch, you can. So here's what you can do. You can go buy the book and read it, or you can type in book of Enoch, and you can go listen to the audio. I know some do like part 1, chapter 1, right? You can go listen to this. It's free, man. So, and then if you are a picture person, like I actually read the book of Enoch, I watched it, and I'm listening to an audio, and I watched someone's AI version. You can go to Yo Mike's, his channel. he has like a video of making a book of Enoch, and it was amazing. But just ignore it. Just ignore the Jesus part. You'll learn, but just ignore him when he says Jesus. Jesus doesn't exist. So but if you read it, you'll know that angels came down and went into the daughters of men, which are Negro women, right? And they made giants. So you have a fallen seed, half, and then you have the other half of man. So this is where all these other, phenotypes that are not Negro come in. Like, darker skin, lighter skin, pale skin, straight hair, hairy body, tail on your body, all that other phenotypes. So, and the reasons matter because these sons of Adam, when they're choosing their wives at the time, they're mixed. A lot of them are mixing with women who are not of the same seed as Adam. So this is why a lot of corruption came into the bloodlines. Because we know Lamech was told that his son Noah, was pale, right? You find out his son was, I can't really find it. It's a scripture for about let me see. According to non-canonical texts like the Book of Enoch, Lamech's reaction to his son Noah's birth was one fear, as the baby appearance was unlike any humans. The text described Noah as having a body as white as snow and red as a nose, hair white as wool, and beautiful eyes that shone like the sun. So basically, Lamech's perspective, Lamech was terrified by Noah's appearance and feared he was not his son, but had been fathered by angels. So when he's talking about this, right, he's basically saying his son is pale. Now, I'm not sure of albino. So just think of an albino Afro. So he would say his son looked like son looked like that, but the eye is a little bit different. But the white people, they'll say he looked like a white person, but no, he was Negro. So, and I'm saying, right, the reason Noah looked like this could be because of the fallen angels seed getting within the bloodline, sort of. And this is important because it's going to get to our next part. So basically, up to Noah lineage, the human genome or the Adam seed is pretty much corrupted a little bit. So that's why humans look different today. All right. Now let's get to the Noah three sons. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now, I'm not really going to explain this, but we've already explained it enough. So if you didn't know, Shem is Sem, right? Bible. And then that word comes from Saim. So it's Saim, Bible. Oops. Saim, Shem, right? And the Siam, Thailand. And then you got the Manik, the indigenous Siamese, boom. Where I learned from the Lakes Will, tribe of Benjamin. What do you see? Afros. So, that's what Shem is. And then you got and I'm making a video, but you got other Negroes in Indonesia, right? I gotta type Papua. Got other Negroes in Indonesia. Man, it keeps doing this, bro. Got other Negroes in Indonesia. Right? So we got all the proof of what Shem is. And then we're told Ham, pork, right? Ham is in Africa, right? We're told these are Hamites. We're told that these are Hamites. But here's how they tricked you. Oops. Hot dark, right? Okay, they won't show the... Okay, we're gonna have to go on Wikipedia. They're tripping. They're not showing what the word was. Oh, this is so stupid. Why they do? They really want to hide this. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous, bro. And I'm starting to lag. What? Ham. Okay, so for some reason I'm not gonna be able to show it. We're gonna have to go on eSword. So we're gonna go on eSword. So if you go on eSword, just go type in the search button, type in ham. We're gonna Google too. Ham is the H2526 translation. It comes from Cam. So we're gonna type in ham H2526. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Ham used to be KH, and then Ham used to be CH, whereas Cham, Cham, a son of Noah. So the real name is Cham, not Ham. So when you go on Google, right, you type Ham people, they're gonna show you black people in Africa who are really Chim. But when you type in Cham, you get Asian people, Mongoloid people. So this is the real Cham. Because they came for some so-called Africa and invaded the Shem or Saim. This is why the word Saim matters. And I learned this one from Lex Will too. So we just showed you what Cham looks like. And then here's another thing. They're not the only Chams. You got Cush people, right? Cush, right? Son of, right? They gonna show you Nubia. But then when you type in Kushan, you start getting into Indians, Hindus. So they're of Ham too. Alright? And then put people, Bible. It's just gonna show this, but we type in punt people. Okay, now it's starting to change a little bit. Land a punt. Okay. I forgot what that thing said. Let me go back to the thing. Alright. So we'll type in put. Okay, it's not talking about it, but I don't know where put is. Someone could probably make a video on it, but I'm saying, and then Ethiopia, right? We learned from Lexwell, Ethiopia It's not in Africa. They just named the Ethiopia. The real Ethiopia is is near Urartu. In Russia. And then we type in people in Georgia today. Then you have more Hamites, Canaanites, right? So Ham, it was dark. And then if you want to look at really, really dark Hindu, straight hair people, you type in Hindu people. Very dark. You'll start getting Hindus very dark. But they have straight hair. Wait, I'm not sure if she's Negro, but there's Hindus with straight Hindu, what they're called. The Nadu people. I forgot what they're called. Irula people. I spelled it wrong. There we go. You got very, very super dark people. And these are not Negroes. These are Hamites, too. Cushites. So, Ham was the straight-haired man. Now, Japheth. This is hard. I won't be able to do this one, but I'm just going to say what I learned from Lex Wills. So, Japheth, which is really Iopheth, sounds like Japan. So, you go to Japan. Right? You type in Anu people, the indigenous, and it looks like a white person. Caucasian, right? White person. See how dark his skin was? So, and then, you ever read about the Moors? Beast painting. I think I'm getting this correct. This is when the Moors were fighting beast men. And I think that's Japheth. Because the Japheth people, they end up mixing with beast people. And that's why you have like a lot of I'm not sure I'm saying this correctly, but Russian people, hairy, Japheth. So Japheth is this so-called white person with the beard. Valentunas, that's Japheth. Ashkenaz, they're Japheth too. Some of them, they're Japheth. Beard. Japheth, alright. Now, why does everybody don't look like Shem today? Because what I told you. Adam's lineage started off, pure, and then angels came down, went into daughters of men, and made other humans, and the children of Adam mixed with women who weren't of that, and that's how it got into the bloodline. All right, so that's why there was 3 sons with different phenotypes. Now, we're getting into this part. Shem, and I could be wrong, but that's why I'm making a video, because I haven't seen a lot of videos on this, so I'm going to do it. Shem bloodline. You got Shem, Arphaxad, Salah, Eber, Pele, Reuel, Sireu, Nahor, Terah, Haran, Nahor, Abraham, right? So what that means, we need to show a lot. That means whatever Shem looked like, they looked like that too. And then Abraham looked like that. Alright? We don't even got to get too deep in that. But now, we're going to get to Abraham and Lot. So when, Abraham and Lot are basically related, and Lot comes from the line of Shem. He comes from Haran, which is Abraham's brother. And Lot is the nephew of Abraham. Right. Abraham had Ishmael and Isaac. Abraham's slaves, I think her name, Hera. Hold up. Ishmael, mother, Hagar. So Hagar, nation of the So Hagar was Egyptian, right? So think of a Negro mixed with any like a Hindu or something like that. I think, or like a, like a Hindu, like a lighter skin. That's what Ishmael would look like, and then it would look somewhat like an Arab person. Oh my gosh, I can't, this. So somewhat like that, I would say. That's Ishmael. And then get other examples. Elijah, Muhammad, right? Ishmael. Okay. Now we are getting to the other ones. And then you also have the Turkic people. The what is it? The Asurites, Lurites, and Lumites, which is going to be somewhere within Turkey. I'm going to type that in right quick. These could be of Shem. So now let's get to Abraham children. Dang, so many tabs. Okay, sorry, I'm just bringing these other stuff up because they matter too. Alright. Abraham. He made, well, maybe I should do Lot first, but let's do Abraham. Esau, let's do Lot first. So remember, Abraham and Lot look the same. They both were of Shem. It's just Lot is Abraham's nephew. But when Lot left Sodom and Gomorrah with his daughters, they realized that the bloodline is going to go out. So they ended up committing incest on their father. Now, this is one of the worst things you could do for your children, besides abortion, right? This is one of the worst things you can do as a man. Or, woman, because, but you do not want to create your children out of incest, because that will basically screw up the bloodline forever. All right? And we're going to prove scripture. Moab not in the congregation of God. So you go to Deuteronomy 23. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever, because they were made through incest. All right. What happens when you have incest? Incest, traits. Okay, phenotype. So lower IQ, higher incidence of intellectual disability, reduced fertility with smaller liver size and lower sperm, higher rates of genetic disorders and cardiovascular disorders, smaller adult size, fluctuating facial symmetry, and lower birth rates, higher infant and child mortality rates, loss of immune system function. All right. So yeah. And then, right, we're going to type this in right quick. So we're going to type most attractive black men, all right? And we're going to do black women too. Right? And then most attractive. So, as you can see, you see how attractive these dudes are, right? I don't want to go to images. I don't know what's going to show. You see how they are all relatively attractive men. Well, this is what you really are trying to do. Everything you want your children to be attractive. You want them to, look good. Right? You want your sons and daughters to look amazing. Right? You can even say white people. We put up white. Most attractive, white men. Right? Right? Most attractive white women. We could put that in there too. Yeah, there's a lot of attractive white women. Most attractive Asian women. Let's see. Asian men. Most attractive. Okay, y'all get the point. Right? We love attraction. We love it. We like her image perfect, looking good. Good hairline, good skin, good eyes. We love it. Everybody, okay, IMD, yeah. Everybody loves it. We all want our kids to look beautiful. Especially since the beginning of time. But a lot of us don't follow the scriptures. So we can't look like this all the time. And that's what happened with Moab. Let's go to so many tabs. So many tabs. Their daughters raped him. Raped him. And to their 10 generations shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Right. I'm not sure after 11 they can enter, but because they committed incest. And not just blacks, but even other races do incest too. So we want our children to look beautiful. Now, let's get to the opposite of beautiful. Ugly black people. Right? Now, I'm not saying all this is caused by just genetics. Sometimes you have a bad diet, parasites, destroy DNA. But the most unappealing, things you could think of are caused by incest. You could say fallen angels too, but it's really incest. So you have even the thing, people saying black is ugly. They have a book saying But that ain't all black people. So, you know, what type of ugly black actors? Right? You know? So, for example, we're going to go to European blood. I can't do that right now. So, like, basically bug eyes, right? This happens through incest. That's an incest trait, bug eyes. All right. Now mine's kind of does the thing at the bottom a little bit at the bottom, but right. So this is that's incest. The eyes, not him, not his entire bloodline. I'm just talking about like this is an incestuous trait. Same with that. You can even include what type, like, Arsenio Hall. He has the bug eyes. That's Moab or Ammon within the bloodline. It could be them or not. I forgot what he said about the lip. So, like, the lip palette. So he said Young Thug. He had said something about the lip. I forgot what he was talking about, the lip palette. He's saying that the lip palette is not. I forgot what he's talking about, but he's saying that's incest too. And then, what else? Short height. We could use Kodak. I don't know. I think 42. Nah. I don't know how short height can apply, but it does make sense. And then we can do the hairline. The hairline is part of it. Why? I'm not 1,000% sure about that, but the eyes, and then the black people underbite, right? That's it, part of incest too. That's part of incest as well. So, look like he has both the eye and the underbite. So, but Moab is gonna have those phenotypes, and then when you type in the Moors people, YouTube. What's his name? Moorish World TV. Him and Polite have that phenotype, right? Patrick Beverly. He has that phenotype. The bug eyes. Chris Middleton. He has the, but it could be Edom too. But I'm just trying to tell you what Moab. Now I'm not saying that they are Moab. I'm just saying this is what Moab looked like. Who else? We ain't just gonna get on men. We get on some women too. What's her name? I just typed ugly black women. I mean, y'all, I'm ugly too, y'all. So, But some of these phenotypes I don't have. But ugly black women. No, we'll just type in bug-eyed. See your eyes? Bug-eyed. That's Moabite woman. Rashad Jamal. She has it too. I'm just typing people that I know, I heard or seen before. See, look. Not saying she's Moab. I'm just saying that's what Moab looked like. What type center? Glees women. Type Muslim. Now we'll just type Sakud Dumboye. He has a phenotype too. And then ain't just black people. You got Hindus, because there were Afro Asians that kind of got scattered. Bug-eyeds. You got Hindus with big eyes. Right. I think there's a little bit Moab in them too. And then you got the Somalian people. I don't even know how they got in Somalia, but big eyes. A lot of them, they're showing, and these don't, but so you got a bunch of different Moabites and Edomites. So when you think of black people with the terrible phenotypes, they're most likely gonna be Moab and Ammon, especially through the eyes. All right, underbite, all that. Remember, they could be red, they could be dark, they could be light. They're all part of that phenotype. Okay? Now we're going to get to Shem. Abraham. Abraham had Isaac. And then he had Jacob and Esau. Jacob, Esau, Edom. Alright? Now, remember, this one, I might do a part 2 because I think I want y'all to take a break. So we're going to do the part 2 next after this one. I'll see you in the next one.